Good morning, good morning, good morning to my lovely people. Welcome to Shop Talk with Mel. Another Saturday morning to kick it with the people. I would like to introduce to you the co-host in the building. Remember we used to do it like this? Let's give it up for Nick the Voice.
Good morning.
There we go, the sound effects. None other than Nate the Agitator. We got to get him off the mute.
Right.
All right.
I do need that. I'm here to agitate you every week as I do.
As you
I'll
do,
let you down.
all the time. Shop Talk Crew. Shop Talk Crew. Well, like I said, it's another Saturday. Got a great show planned for you guys. Today we're going to talk about 50. We're going to talk about the Chrisleys. We're going to talk about the American Music Awards. I know y'all like, Mel, what you talking about? We know you love Janet. Please don't make this a whole 2 hours about Janet. I promise I won't. Also, we're going to talk about Trump's suggestion. I got to give it to the people. We're going to talk about my boy Smokey. Remember, he had those accusers. I told you I was going to follow the story. Follow the story. And we're going to talk about Diddy Duds. What's the duds? We're going to get in. We're going to get into it if that's all right. Let's get this show started.
Everything that happens is motivation. Everything that happens is motivation.
Hey, but first and foremost, I want to introduce you lovely people to our guest. Our guest today is none other than Natasha. She is the CEO of marketing and PR firm. Now, some of you guys may know her and some of you may not. So, for those who don't know her, let me give you a little 411 on Miss Miller, okay? Great sense of humor, have been heard on different radio stations, podcasts. There's a podcast, and I'm about to blow it. What is it? Ghetto and Bougie, Hood and
Good and bougie.
I be like, what is it? Ghetto and Bougie? Like, what are we doing? Hood and Bougie, a host, MC, different events. So get at her. But we talking to Tosh from the Las Vegas, the gambling city. What they call that, Sin City?
Sin City, yes.
Sin City, Las
Yes.
Vegas, and Nevada, none other than Natasha Miller. Let's give it up. Give her a Shop Talk welcome.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. So it's N. Miller Marketing PR and Marketing and PR firm.
Go ahead, correct me for me.
Oh, it's N. Miller Marketing and PR firm.
And you know what? I was just thinking like it was like your name N. Dot. Okay, there we
It
go.
is. So my background is a nurse. I'm a nurse.
Yes.
And when I would sign like orders and stuff, I always signed N. Miller. And when I was younger, I always looked for a signature. Like, people had these nice signatures, and I'm looking up here writing Natasha Miller across. So N. Miller is usually how I sign my signature, just because I thought it looked cool.
That's mine though.
Is it?
That word. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
M. Ross and
Yeah.
who writing all that? But I did practice my signature when I was younger.
Yeah.
I did the whole name, like boom, boom. I knew I was like, I'm about to be famous. Let me practice this right now at age 5 or 6.
Exactly. Yeah.
And some people have done it.
Yeah.
Did you practice yours?
Well, I did. So I kind of was an odd child. I practiced a little bit of everything. I was one of them kids that just thought I was going to be, I could get up and think I was an astronaut and, really believe that. So
Listen, that's what That's what's missing.
Yep. Mhm.
That's what's missing right now. Because it was, you could be whatever you want to be. And it was instilled in us. You could be whatever you want to be whatever you want to
Exactly.
be. Now it's like
I
parents.
used to have like landmarks for myself. So I used to say I was gonna be. By the time I was 40, I was supposed to be on the cover of a Jet magazine, which now isn't as popular. You know, back then when we was young, it was popular, and you saw it in the grocery store line. That didn't happen, but we still got a couple others that are still sparking. We'll see one day.
It didn't happen yet. You still got some years in you.
Yes.
They'll be like, look, now you can AI.
Oh, that's true. You know what? I might do that and see how it might look.
A dream not deferred.
Exactly. I said I was going to be on the cover. I didn't say they was going to do an article.
There you go. Throw that mug right on there, be like, hey. Now, I wanted you to come on to talk about what you offer.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because the professionalism is out the door. Last week, look, I'm like, let me just get into it. Last week, we talked about Black businesses and to do better. And the reason I had that topic, I know y'all was getting at me. I got the emails. Why you got to talk about Black business? Listen, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I'm Black. I can talk about my experiences, and my experiences, not with all, understand that, Black businesses. But there are some Black businesses that be complaining. You're on social media, spazzing out, cussing us out because we don't come and support you. But this is what you're offering, and you are not offering A1, but you want my A1 money that I'm working real hard for, that I signed M. Ross.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm working real hard, so I want quality.
I think, and that's part of the reason that I started my marketing PR firm, is that you walk around, and I'm gonna be quite frank, we look real crazy right now. The culture looks real crazy right now. We got, and the stuff that we see on Facebook and Instagram and the news right now, we got Diddy and different things like that. But we have a lot of great other qualities as well, right? I was blessed to have parents that taught me professionalism, taught me, me and my sister, God forbid your homework looks sloppy. My dad had a copy, you had to rewrite that thing, because part of we are kings and queens. So we need to exude excellence, not exude ignorance. And a lot of us have great qualities, great personalities, great things that we're doing in this world. But what we see and what our children see and what the teens see and what the culture is saying is ignorance. And so one of the things that I want to show is, okay, yeah, he might have gotten in trouble last week. He might have got arrested last week, but he's a good father. He takes his kids to school every day. He helps them do their homework. It was a mishap, but let's not highlight the mishap. Let's highlight that he's a good father. Let's highlight that, he volunteers, at the shelter and things like that we don't know. There are plenty, especially living in Vegas, we have a lot of people in the entertainment industry and, sports industry and all of that there that do a lot of great things. I would go to work and sometimes people are like, oh, such and such was here giving out Easter baskets or what have you. We never would have known that had they didn't have a personal experience. And so what this company does is it highlights the good things, and we kind of, okay, we made a mishap, but let me show people and show the culture what it looks like to get back up once you fall down. And if you fall down again, we're going to get back up. And if you fall down again, we're going to get back up, because people make mistakes, but we're not going to stay in the negative space of the mistake you made 2 weeks ago or a year ago, or, different things like that. And so I also wanted to kind of show, you don't have to coon or be dressed with just, a bikini on when you go out in the streets. You can be classy and sexy at the same time. You can be classy and speak well and still have a good time at the club. And I find that, we're just missing that in our culture right now. And so it just means a lot to me to be able to bring that. But not only that, but have a business where you're going to get a stellar product, because that's how I roll. Do you get it? I'm not going to half change you. You're going to get a stellar product, and we're going to make sure that we show the good things about you.
All right. It's needed.
Yes.
It's needed. Real talk.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. There are a lot of people that do a lot of good.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that's happening is media outlets tend to gravitate to the negativity because that's what gets the clickbait.
Correct.
And it's like, oh, I'm not interested in, okay, well, yeah, you do that, but that's not the clickbait. And there are things that are publicized, like the positive things people do. For example, young man right now, with Shador Sanders.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So now I see they're focusing on all the good. But when he first came out, it was, oh, his arrogance. I'm like, his confidence, let's
Yeah.
reword that. Let's reboot
Yeah.
the hard drive.
Yeah.
His confidence is bothering you. So now you want to say that he's bad. I don't know why we take a positive and turn it into a negative, but we do that.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're showing him at the schools, but he's not following with the media. He don't call the media and say, hey, I'm gonna go to this school. He's just doing it, and somebody caught it on their phones because we look, the world is media.
Exactly.
Phones, and we just hit and play, and they were able to see exactly what he did. Now, when you said capitalizing on, well, I probably added the word capitalizing on the negative and what they did bad instead of what they did good. Travis Hunter, I was upset because draft day, and this is where I went. Draft day, this is his big day. Why is in bold print the subtitle under the draft is his father was able to come and see him. His father was able to get a pass because he on house arrest or something nutty like that.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
His son, get drafted in person. I said, this article is about his dad. Can we focus on the young man?
And things like that are meant to just, it's like, you can do good, but you can't do better than me. So you doing great, but wait a minute, your daddy,
Right.
Let's talk about your daddy problems. You could have got straight A's through school. You got drafted. That's a dream that some kids have that they
Right.
never accomplish. But yeah, we ain't gonna let you do all the way good. We still gonna show, as far as I know, the kids never gotten in trouble. I know that they had a little situation, with the now wife and all of that, but those are normal things and trial and error, but yeah, it's like it almost, it's almost like they're saying you can do good, but we're not gonna let you do that good. We're not gonna let you.
It seemed like they just want to be the savior, and that's why they had a problem with Shador.
Yeah,
You had that story.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you have these rappers out here now, real talk. They want that sad story, and that's what seems to be winning. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I had to overcome these obstacles. Like me, okay, give me a
Yeah.
shot. So a shot at the, and I'm air quotes for the listening audience, a shot at the American dream. That's my thoughts, and I just feel like that's not it. So there's a lot of Black children who don't have that story, i.e., A$AP Rocky.
Yeah.
I saw an article with him, and they were showing he was like, that's not my story. He was like, both my parents were in my life. So it's almost, if you have a sad story, we want to make you shine.
Correct.
Like, how come I just can't shine off talent?
Correct. Yeah.
So with your company, how can I sign up? Tell me, what would you do for me?
So what a lot of times
I'm walking in the door.
You walking in the door. The first thing I would like to do when I take on a new client is to get to know you, right? Because you might be an artist at home secretly. You might be an artist, or you might even be making beats, or there are things that we all have interest in that mean a lot to us and help mold who we are personally. And so I like to get to know you first so that I can see the good qualities. And then those are the things that I highlight, right? And so a lot of times people come on initially as to get like PR consultant, right? They might have had an issue like last week I had a DUI, like, all right, let's see how we can spin this to make sure that you had a DUI, but let's spin this to make sure that we can just show the positive things, right? Because let's face it, if you got kids and a wife and a mother and all of those things, those people now get ready to see the media bash you. And that's horrible. That's horrible. And we live for it. I watch, don't get me wrong, I'm scrolling all down, but we live for that. And so a lot of times the PR consultant piece is you might have a situation that you need me to be able to look through and say, okay, this is how we're going to spin this. This is how, we're going to highlight this about you. You made this mistake, but you also go to the prison every week and speak to the prisoners about not being, when you rehabilitate, once you're rehabilitated, things like that. So a lot of times people like that option first. But outside of that, what you would be able to get is you come in the door, I get to know you, and then I start highlighting what's excellent about you, and those type of things. And a lot of times it gives people a lot more confidence and security, and and it helps them move different. But we not giving a highlight that you had on booty shorts last week and was twerking in the club necessarily, because that's personal and that's what you wanted to do on your personal time. But that's not something, again, like that's like the Travis Hunter thing. We want to talk about that. That's not, so we do that. We can market you. So once I get to know you, I can see what things, what parts of your personality that we can market as far as getting you some maybe promotions and sponsorships
and bigger deals and stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yeah. And so so that kind of thing. And so also, just monitoring social media and getting to know the media sites and making sure that they're getting the information they need about you and your career to help you move forward. I think that, what's wrong with excellence being popular? And so you're not going to come, if you're looking for somebody to be, broadcasting, who you dated the last 5 times, that's not what you're going to get here. You're going to get, I'm going to show the excellence, and I quite frankly we don't need to know about the rest. That's your personal business. But, showing young ladies how to walk with couth and present themselves in a way that you see their intelligence. A lot of people are extremely smart, but, so we just kind of, I wouldn't say a makeover, but making sure that you get what you need as far as public relations, marketing, and, because your legacy is what follows you. So just helping you create a legacy for yourself and your brand.
I want to put this out here for the listening audience. N. Miller Marketing and PR firm. There's people that she's worked with that you guys probably know, but it's confidential. So with that being said, let's Shop Talk way. Get at her.
Yes.
People want to get at her.
Yeah. So my Instagram is Empress. I believe it's Empress Tosh. Let me just pull it up just to make sure I give you the right information. I changed the name for myself. Empress Tosh 25.
Okay. Empress Tosh 25.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to bring Nate the Agitator on, because I'm sure he probably want to chat with you for a minute.
No, it was, I wanted to hook up on, make me more presentable, making, giving the people all of this. Yeah, you're the real life Olivia Pope.
Yes, that exactly. That's basically what it is.
I caught that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that, Nate. I like how you caught that on your own there. Look at you.
Hey, look, I'm trying to, reach to other people and, make my agitation higher. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Disagree with everything that comes out of everyone's mouth. That's what I want to do. That's my life calling. How can you help me?
How could I help you? Well, so your brand. So I think with you, what would be good for you is a personal brand. Making sure that if you build your personal brand, you don't necessarily have to worry about what everybody else thinks, right?
Oh, I got that part already.
Be you, and you can do you. And so that's what we would do, get to know you and allow you to come in to a space where you're comfortable to be yourself and build a brand off of you being yourself. Okay. That doesn't necessarily mean I might not be like, Nate, I'm gonna need you not to walk in here, a certain way or something like that, just because it might not be highlighting the good things. But, we're going to build you a personal brand. I think,
Well, I think we better talk offline, because this is going to be an extensive work plan. I would be the greatest.
Nate the Agitator. I'm going to need you to walk in without agitation.
No, I wouldn't do that to you, Nate, because I'm an agitator. I'm an agitator.
Here. And I have your commercial at it. Hi, my name is Nate. I could not longer read until I took this in Miller's course. Now I be educated.
Yeah.
Nate, no.
I'm here to help. I'm just here to help.
What did
Alright.
Suge Knight say? If you want to come over here, if you don't want nobody all in the video dancing,
Dancing in the
that's what I
video.
got. If you're not gonna have nobody all in the
Yes.
video dancing, probably won't even see me.
I'm definitely gonna be needing to call you sometime soon because I got a lot going on, and I'm gonna need a PR person.
Yes.
Definitely.
Mm.
Definitely. Question that I had, and it just said phew, gone. Just that
Right.
quick.
know.
When I think of it, I'll get back to you. But yeah, that seems to me that seems like a dream job. I would love to, especially once you get into the big names and celebrities and you're helping them out. That would be
Yeah.
something dreamy. Like,
You know, it's funny because I've been a nurse for quite a few years, and I just got to a place where I was like, all right, let's, for instance, we see people every day that are living their dream, and so just stepped into trying to live mine.
right. Like my thing is I just finished school going into one career, but my career is the acting thing. I'm just getting into that. And I know there's I definitely need PR
I
because
dibbled in that. I dibbled in that right before I got my nursing license. I went to
okay.
some auditions and things like that.
Yeah, that audition process, it could be a beast, I tell you.
Yes,
It's a
yes.
beast.
My
It is a
first
beast.
audition, it was in Philadelphia, I want to say, and the line was like down the block, and I stood in that bad boy. I went and auditioned, and always got a call back, never got a part.
But that's
Yeah,
the thing, getting a call back.
Yeah,
right.
Now the in Philadelphia, well, I'm gonna ask both of you ladies. With the auditions, were they walk-in auditions or you were told about it?
So at the time, I was extra broke, and my friend who was an actress had a manager, and so her manager would send her things, and I would tag along. That's how.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I went and I got some headshots from a girl I used to babysit for that was in college for photography. And, the whole thing free. I just used, resources of others and did it like that. So.
All right, Nick, were you
I-
told about it or was it just a walk-in?
Different ones. Now, some of them I was just told about it, so I was there. The last thing that I did, the Netflix, that was an audition because
That was an audition. I mean, was it a walk-in though?
it was like they needed extras because I belong to like the Houston Film Commission, so
Oh,
they
okay. So
needed
you
extras.
were notified.
Right.
Now
The
in
one role that I'm
we could
doing now,
walk in. In California, we could walk in because I did a Listerine commercial. I was just walking down the street. Me and Malik, my little baby was in the stroller, and I was like, walk down there, and I was like, oh, and it had open, auditions. I was like, and it was a line, and I was like, oh, all right. I didn't even know what it was for. It was the Listerine commercial, and this was that long ago because he'll be 30, so he was in a stroller. You heard me.
Oh Lord.
Now I'm up there, and it's a whole bunch of sinks. Like basins, like wash sinks, like next to the washer dryer, that type, like tubs, those. So what you had to do, you had to keep the Listerine in your mouth for 1 minute. 1 minute. Nobody could do it.
Yeah, no. That stuff burns, and back then it probably had a lot of alcohol in it.
Absolutely.
A lot of alcohol content.
But guess what? To me, and when I'm watching like the commercial now, they still ain't got nobody to do it for a minute because you could tell that they fake it. They like, I was like, you had to hold that in your mouth for a whole minute because of the way the commercial was, and it said it how long, make sure you're clean. Yeah, all that stuff would be all raw. I was like, this, and it was burning back then. They didn't have the colors now. It was just yellow.
Yes, and that one has a high alcohol content. That's why back then the dentist was having you use them.
Like
antiseptic. If something is an antiseptic,
right? Okay, my mouth real clean, burnt out. But I see that they still do not use. They're not asking people to do that because it looks phony. It looks
Yeah.
fake because
Yeah.
we know it's gonna be some seepage. With
Yeah.
the list print, it's gonna be some seepage. But that's what I was wondering. Those are fun when you just kind of just go and it's like, oh, what you gonna do? I'm about to be discovered. For real? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, the current role that I'm doing now, when we're finally going to finish the movie, that
Yay.
one was gifted to me because it was actually a young man that we had on the show talking about the movie that he had just finished.
Oh yeah, okay.
And that one was gifted to me because I brought him on the show. And I'm kind of glad because now he has other opportunities lined up that he like, you've been with me from day one. I'm taking you with me.
Okay, so that's almost like that Tyler Perry. He out
Basically.
here like Tyler Perry. Remember he had the same, what was it, the core 5 people that
Mhm.
Tyler in every movie or every
Mhm.
show.
Right.
Well, that's a cool thing.
But it's also about your dedication and, you
Yeah,
know,
but
Yes. Yeah.
PR is important. Yeah, dedication, yeah, commitment.
yeah.
Well, sometimes I ain't gonna lie, you can have people committed. It's almost like that bad worker at the job. And you be like, won't they fire her? Because she the only one coming to work.
Exactly.
You know? So with that being said, you know, you be like, okay, who am I dealing with and what am I working with? Now back to the PR piece of it. Let me ask you, do you find like auditions like what?
So to be honest, I'm a newer resident of Vegas.
Mhm.
So the areas out there, I'm still getting to connected with some of them. I was able to like during Christmas time, like Lifetime is out there, doing those holiday movies that you see and stuff like that.
Ugh.
So a lot of times the person comes to me. And hilariously, I could be out and people will be like, "Can you help me with this real quick?" And it started almost like they wanted me to just help them with posts for their Instagram.
Mhm.
And then the next thing you know, I was like, ding, and go from there.
But
But
you kind of like just walked in your purpose.
correct. Absolutely. That's basically how it happened. It just kind of fell in my lap. So, and the way the universe set that thing up, that's, I really can't even take credit for it, to be honest. I can take credit for praying that I need to be happy and do what my purpose is, but as far as the rest of it,
Yeah, I heard Nick when she said that seemed like the fun job, and we were talking yesterday, and I was like, "I want to do something fun." It seems I'm like, she just said just what it was. It
Mhm.
seems like a good time.
yeah.
Look, I'm like, you seem like a good time. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not going to necessarily party with you or, be mingling in these high end, craziness, but I can set you up with it. That's how you get caught up in them parties that they got on TV right now. So
okay, all white party. Go. What you got, Nate? What you saying?
Speaking of parties, were you ever, invited or participated?
No, I know more than one
Yeah.
person who has been to them, and the information that I found out about them was prior to all of this. And so, and what's funny is both people who were telling me the stories told it in an elementary form, but you could read through the lines. And so they kind of were like, they could tell that I'm like, wait a minute now, that don't sound like, I do know a couple people who have partaken, I guess. I don't know if they partook. They said there was multiple
They
levels.
went to the party, but you don't know if they went to the after party.
But
right. They all said, I know somebody did. It wasn't me, but
exactly. But no, I don't now.
Hey, people want to know. People want to know. That could be your book deal.
I would go just to be nosy. I ain't even gonna lie, just to be nosy. I ain't partaking in anything, but I want to see what you do.
See, I told you guys I was a nurse, so I'm OCD. So I'm not quite sure walking around somebody's house with baby oil and naked and all. I'm not quite sure if that's how I would rock. But as soon as you start talking about baby oil, I don't know why we would need that at a party. So
hey, just don't turn on the black light. Don't turn on the black light there. That's all. Just enjoy yourself. Go black
and
light.
trust me, what I've seen as a nurse, as soon as I start seeing that type of setup,
it's time to go.
Yes.
Time to go.
Yes.
Wait, why did I feel guilty So I get here to the hotel and I'm taking out all my stuff. So my mother's in the room with me together. And in the bathroom, I'm setting up all my little stuff. I pulled out a little travel size of baby oil. I felt bad about
Do you think this has hurt the baby oil or helped the baby oil industry?
It helped it.
You think
I
it
don't
helped?
know, because remember when they was saying, remember in the beginning, you know how there was all these lies. And I remember they said they was getting the baby oil from Costco, and Costco made a whole statement. It was like, you didn't get we don't even sell baby oil in that type of condition. We don't have that much baby oil. So,
it.
So I
Costco
don't know.
made a statement.
Yeah,
So
Costco like, don't
know.
do that.
Don't put us with the diddler.
Hey,
Exactly.
I've
Not
bought a
the
couple new
dipper.
bottles just to, just in case. Just want to see what the hoopla's about.
What?
You bought a
I
couple
use
bottles.
mine for my
What
feet.
was about?
First of all, you still be ashy sometimes after baby oil. When you ever, so that's number one. You got to mix it sometimes with Eucerin. Second of all, you're not gonna get the effect. They said stuff was in that baby oil.
Right. But I mean, just a shout out. You know what I mean? 'Cause after hearing the allegations and the stories that came out,
Mhm.
I know that my game has dropped. I thought I was a contender until I hear some of this stuff. I'm like, man, I'm elementary. I'm saying. I
Wow.
apologize to anybody that I came across thinking I was doing something. I apologize sincerely because I ain't
Plies said that too. Plies was like, I thought I was doing. He said he thought he was freaky until he saw that. He was like, I guess I ain't doing nothing.
doing nothing.
Wow.
I like to apologize. Woo.
Nate, you going back and apologizing?
Oh, hey, I gotta. I'm hearing stories and I'm clutching the pearls. I'm like, oh,
Not you clutching the pearls, Mr.
got
Too
me
Pretty Good.
clutching the pearls. So I know I'd like to formally apologize if you were one of the 3 people that I've, played hide the pickle with.
Oh, Lord.
Just
Hey,
laugh.
I thought I was doing something. Apparently not.
Nope. Sorry.
Hey, sorry.
Nope.
But it's their fault too. They act like they enjoyed it at the time.
They might have. Don't nobody need to do all
Blame
that crazy
the victim. Blame the victim, huh?
That's right. Y'all do it.
I just got one question. How
Wait,
you having all that fun? How you having all that fun with somebody that they say is the size of a Tootsie Roll?
You talking about me?
Not you.
Oh,
Talk about the
It
diddler.
sounds like he
I was gonna
wasn't.
say, Nick, you
It
ain't
don't
supposed to
seem
know
like-
that. You ain't
It don't
supposed to
seem
know
like
that.
he was always in the mix. So it seemed like he was watching the mix, but it don't seem like he was always in the mix.
Well, he didn't
directing
have
the
the right
movie.
equipment to be. I mean, well, apparently it wasn't strong enough to be. So a Tootsie Roll?
Like I said, as a man, I can out earn my ugly. I can out earn my deficiencies. That's what a man can do. Oprah's DMs are still dry.
Oh,
Hey,
Oprah, I ain't say that.
well, hey, I'm just saying, hey, a
The
lady
views
who
of Nate the Voice are those of Nate the Voice,
let me
and
clear
not
it up.
those of Shop Talk with Mel.
A lady who has master's degree and all this stuff going together and stuff like that, it doesn't do anything for her. Oprah has everything. Ain't nobody in her DMs, but Sexy Red, her DMs are blowing up. Do I endorse any of that? No, I am just here merely to tell you how things are. Don't
And
you?
why is that?
Because you guys keep telling us what we want, and we're like, no, we don't want that. And you'll tell us, yes, we do. And I have this, and I'm like,
I can agree with that. Nate. I absolutely can agree with that.
new host on the show, new host.
Because let me tell you why.
Nick.
For the longest, women that look and dress and act like Sexy Red are the ones that were getting all the attention. I sort of, I'm not saying I'm not innocent, but I necessarily didn't move like that, and you wasn't really getting checked for. I'm gonna be 100. The past year and a half, I'm getting checked for, and I'm looking like, is something wrong? You realize you're talking to me, right?
Your accomplishments, a woman's accomplishments, really don't mean nothing unless you're a certain type of guy. Because your accomplishments are your bait. And if you're not looking for that type of dude, I'm not gonna go hunt bear with a fishing pole.
Exactly.
And you're like, I have this lure and this fishing line and this, and the bear sitting here like, so I don't want that. Well, you should, because I'm this and I'm this. And we just say, let's see the hip to rear ratio, and we'll go from there. That's what we're after. But I mean, who am I? It's been said a million times. I'm not going to convince anybody today because I'm wrong. I'm a guy.
But you know what? A lot of times when I've moved like that in the past, it's because at the time I didn't have a whole lot of external things going on. So what else are you going to really talk about? I'm you know, but then as you grow and you start to find hobbies and what you like for yourself and who you are, you know, you get grown. Now you got stuff to talk about outside of work. So even when people step to me and all they want to talk about is what they do, how much money, I'm telling you right now, if you pull out $5,000 at the bar with me, I actually think something is wrong with you. You have poor money management skills.
Right.
And
You get that
I'm
on you.
going to continue the conversation. But that's usually what people are attracted to. And, you know, so I find that if you don't have anything to talk about outside of work, you know, usually that's when, you know, you get involved with gossip more. And, you know, that's when you start talking about accomplishments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if a man is worried about your accomplishments, he probably doesn't have any, and he's probably getting ready to drive your car while you at work.
Yep, he's the
You
Jody.
need to know how much money you got. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna drive that car. What you got?
What kind of car you got? Right.
That means you have a Jody on the list. Come on,
Exactly.
Jody.
Now the men that they check in for what you doing and how much money you got, them are usually the ones who are secure within themselves.
Preacher.
And you know,
looking at this, us four, Mel, we're gonna have to change your name to Nail, so we're all ends. We want to be uniform. Got to be uniform. Natasha,
all the ends.
Yeah. But
All right, let's get into this. Did y'all see that?
yes,
50
love every moment of it.
Titles with a free Diddy shirt. How you feeling about that?
I love it.
his pettiness is at God mode. It's just, you can't, between that one, that's the best one, I think. I don't know if I'm going to put that over what he did to Ja Rule when he bought all the seats in the first 20 rows. It made everybody sit in the back for his concert.
That's crazy.
That was petty.
Hey, Mel, let's ask the hard questions. Which one are we going with the Diddler? Are we going with the Diddler shirt or the Ja Rule? Which gets the petty award?
That Ja Rule, that's money. Like the Diddy, you paid $15.99 for that, or you had your homeboy at the farmer's market. You could had him put that on there. But to buy seats, that's a different type of
That's a different kind of petty. That's
Wait.
go ahead.
As petty as he was, he's still putting money in Ja Rule's pocket by buying those seats.
But them things was on Groupon, wasn't they? Like $25. No, what did you buy the Groupon tickets? I thought.
But that
Yeah,
makes
that was
that makes it even more diabolical. He didn't care about the money. He just wanted you to feel a certain way. So money wasn't an issue. I'll spend money to be petty. So with that being in the mix, I'm going to go with the Ja Rule. It's top petty, but a close second is that free Diddy shirt. But you got to give props to the man. He's on God mode. I'm scared to look him directly in the eye because he can give me something.
You know what? This free Diddy, I think that's it. More than the Ja Rule.
You do?
I do, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because remember, he had a problem when he said he had to take me shopping,
Yeah, that's true.
and that's what's all current. We know he's sarcastic, and that's what that shirt is, sarcasm at its best. He went to the NBA Finals with that free Diddy shirt, knowing what this cat looking at.
You know what? You're right, Mel. You're getting more eyes on the finals. If nobody said that he bought them seats, we wouldn't have known.
You're right. Can we
It would have just threw Ja Rule off his game at the concert.
Can we pull up the picture again, Mel? It's the smile for me.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
It's that Kendrick Lamar smile.
Hey Drake.
Definitely diabolical. But I would
That's
just
hysterical.
You know
I
what,
hope
Bill? You've changed my mind. I'm with you. I will go with the Free Diddy shirt because of the mass. You've reached more people with it.
Mhm.
You guys bring up a good point. So here at Mel, are we all in unison? That
we are all in unison. Write it down, tell a friend.
yeah, Free Diddy. Yeah. Mark it down.
I can't I ain't
You
gonna
can't.
comment too much and say nothing because I don't want to mess up something that somebody got going on that I'm a part of because that may be my boss one
Yeah,
sometime
you know
soon.
I'm
So
coming back.
I
Yeah.
ain't saying
Well,
nothing.
well,
I ain't
first,
trying to mess up my
well,
coin.
then you all need to be here then. If that's
That's right.
if we
I
live
ain't
in
trying to
life,
mess up my
Well,
coin.
wait a minute now. Now that man right there, I wouldn't cross him either.
That's what I ain't trying to
I
mess up
want
my
cross
coin.
but what are you really saying?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. We judging we judging just two.
Him against him.
What are you really saying? And here's the thing. I got a job to do. This is my job that I enjoy. The pettiest of all petties is that Free Diddy shirt.
I,
5 stars, gold star. He would have got all the stars in the 5th grade.
Yes.
Top of his paper. That was genius.
it was.
Out of the box.
It was a smile for me though.
Creative, all of that.
It was that diabolical smile though.
Listen here. And,
That's what made it real bad.
and here's the thing. We all know him for his pettiness.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's what makes it even more funny. He ain't scared of nobody, which that's the part that I really like. All right. The American Music Awards. Did anybody watch?
I attempted.
Did you?
Clips on Instagram.
Okay, so I did a little clickbait. You know, I fell down the rabbit hole. I followed it. And one young lady said, I guess for the country music, the girl said, I'm paraphrasing, but what she said, she's reading the prompter, and it said the Carter family.
That part I did see.
Did you see that? Let me see here. That invented country music next to Shabuzi. Shabuzi, he didn't respond to that. He just went on and kind of cleaned it up. He started naming other people, but she was reading it. So I feel as though the way that she was, speaking, and we know if you've been to a live show or an award show, you'll know where the monitor is at. And the way that she was going, I said she's reading. So who put that on the prompter to start some mess?
I know.
Yeah, that just.
I'd like to buy a colonizer for 100, please.
Yeah. Not the sound effect. Bloop, bloop. That's crazy. So do you think that they just trying to have more I don't know, more drama for her? Because the people do not like Beyonce. Nick, check your screen.
Yeah, I was like, where'd that come from?
It was
Go
on
ahead.
Nate at first when he was over there.
We got a show. Can you worry about your technical difficulty off air?
That's yours.
What
Mel.
about okay?
That's yours, Mel. That's
So
yours.
tell me.
Switch us. It's on your screen.
It's not on my screen.
Switch
Okay.
our positions.
So tell me, are they just getting on Beyonce because they don't like her, or no?
That's a hard one. I think that, people take their artistry very, very serious.
Okay.
So that's like, if I was an auto mechanic and you came and changed the tire and you highlighting this man changing the tire, but I fixed the car. I think that's the sad thing about that one, I think, is that, people take their artistry serious. That's, you see even nurses do it, the CNA, and then, there's hierarchy to this. RN, LPN, CNA, like people take what they actually studied and put time into seriously. So I think sometimes that can be a low blow a little bit when you take something away from a person who put a lot of time and effort in it.
Yeah, well, it's just like this. Me calling YouTube up top. Yeah, your little LPN thing you the guys do.
Correct. Yes.
Now y'all ready to fight. So I get it. I like the way you Natasha. In dot, okay.
That was a great example because people be losing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
See,
feel like,
are you
okay,
look?
but I'm okay, you know.
I was at nursing school or something like that, and they were coming out for lunch, and they were in their scrubs, and I thought they were doing makeup artists or something like that. I said that, and I almost got jumped.
What is like?
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, we're nurses. Whoa! I thought y'all just doing makeup or something, or blah blah blah. Oh, oh yeah. I won't make that again. I'm going to start off with, are you guys nurses? Because, yeah.
If you want in on conversation, feel free to do so at 619-902-2287. That's 619-902-2287. Why is the hate so bad for Beyonce?
I think she was born with it.
You think she was born with it?
Think
I
about
think
this.
it's
Do you remember a couple of shows ago when we said her, or who were we comparing her to? Aaliyah. And no one picked Beyonce at all. Dudes just be like, nah, I'm good. They'd be like, oh yeah, I do that. Nah, she just something. It's in the marination. It's in there before the cooked meal. So it's something deep. I don't know.
Go ahead.
Jay-Z. Because
think
of who
it's
she's
Jay-Z?
married to. Yes.
It was before
Because of
that.
who she's married to. No, it wasn't.
Okay,
Once she got with Jay-Z and they got married, then it was a lot of the hate. But before that, no. That's what I'm thinking, and that's what I noticed. Now I could be wrong, or it could be it, but to me it was like after she got with Jay-Z, it was like
What do you think, Natasha?
Sometimes I think it'd be stuff we don't know nothing about going on in the background. I think, we see one thing, but I think, people in the back got voting things and, politics that we don't know nothing about. Because even when she left Destiny's Child, well, first of all, it happens when you take, because wait, look how many people, okay, let's take New Edition. I think we could do New Edition.
Okay.
Robert Husband was the cute one, to me anyway. He was the cute one. He was the one that was singing. They always try to take one and
make them
start a
solo
bunch of to market. Maybe it's a marketing technique, but
yeah.
to market the person and then you notice everybody turn against them. Now he was a drug addict, and we ain't know. Like that. Now they're a drug addict, or they was running hoes through the place. I think
that's it. All right.
Yeah.
I was told by Nick the Voice that I was wrong when I said we never liked Beyonce like that. we just never did. From the guy's point of view, we didn't care who she married. She was never even a smashable, which is amazing how fine she is. But these are facts from men. I'm just talking to the guys because Nick the Voice told me I'm wrong. It's all because
I never said you was wrong. I said I don't think that was it for me. I was thinking it was Jay-Z. I never told you was wrong, because if I'm gonna tell you wrong, I'm gonna say no, Nate, you wrong.
Rewind the tape, please.
Sure thing. I'll get right on that.
If we ask the guys in the content if they liked pre Jay-Z Beyonce, you will get a clear picture what the guys say they like. That's the key picture in my whole argument. What we say
these guys here.
Okay.
But do you think Jay-Z's level of level in the industry, I don't know what to call it. Do you think, how they say to look single? How they tell guys look single, don't be out here mingling with your wife or whatever, just to increase the likes of women. Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you think that Jay-Z's level in the industry made it so it was like she off limits, so we just not really going?
That usually applies to men. Because women's buying power is different than men. Women like you go to I went to my girls' concert, Nasty Grind, Dina Howard, and whoa, I guarantee she will destroy Beyonce in the guys meter Adina Howard will kill Beyonce with the guys meter. But as I was saying, it was her and Montel Jordan. When Montel Jordan performed, women ran the stage, they supported, they clapped. Woo! It was that type of thing. When Adina Howard performed, she was like up there by herself, and all the dudes sat in the back and perved. So for a guy to look single, it's because the girl's attention. For a girl to look single, we don't care. We ain't trying to wife her. I mean, it's not a big thing. See, I'm full of.
So the sex appeal doesn't matter as much. Like that doesn't affect the sex appeal
for a girl versus a guy.
So, like, if you see a married woman that's very attractive, it doesn't affect the sex appeal.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Still, oh, okay.
Yeah, women have those meters and stuff like that. Oh, look at him, he's sexy and he could do this and he got this type of money. We just looking, man, look at that butt, look at that rear end. So it's a totally different meters. But you guys judge us on your meter, and we keep on telling you that don't matter. That doesn't matter. But
we're gonna get into that a little.
But the attractiveness,
actually,
but the attractiveness of a man does affect. If I look at a man and he's married, the attractiveness goes away because that's to me. I'm thinking
we're gonna get deeper into that topic a little bit later. Let's get these hot topics going. Hold on one second. All right, Offset and Cardi B. Offset wants Cardi B to pay him alimony. And
pay him for cheating?
You know what? Pin that. Pay him for cheating. That's good.
Yeah.
He wants, I guess they should get joint custody. He wants part. Listen, take them.
He ain't gonna get it.
Take them. I'll be like, excuse me, Judge, is there like a lump sum I can pay? Because I'll be fine with that. Here's the lump sum, bye. Just go away. Pay him to get rid of your problems.
And the man delegation will take the payment, and we agree with that. You get full
all right.
credit.
So we're in agreement. The Chrisleys being pardoned for taxes. What's your thoughts? That President Trump pardoned the Chrisleys.
He wouldn't have done that for me.
I was going to say, us poor people can't get pardoned. If we owe $10,000, they want $10,000. They're taking all our stuff.
You remember I told y'all it was a rich or poor thing? Remember I said that? Mark that down, going back a few shows ago. I'm telling you, that's the difference. All right. What about President Trump saying that if, y'all check it out, if P. Diddy is not fairly treated, air quotes for the listening audience, he will consider pardoning him.
There's that tax bracket again. P. Diddy's in a different tax bracket, and he might even have, because P. Diddy was on Epstein Island too. So he might know some stuff, might have had a couple of cameras. Who knows? But I mean, this whole trial is a mockery of the law, because I haven't heard anything that's law breaking yet. Am I alone? Because I don't listen to it, but the things I've heard,
I checked it out, and I feel you. I'm like, go ahead, Nick. What you got?
It's because the diddler and Orange Foolies are one and the same. Like, seriously, he's going to pardon him because the diddler probably got some stuff on him. Like
President Trump, remember at the very beginning, would grab him in the crotch and all that other stuff.
Yeah, like they the same. They think the same. They're pervs.
Now here's the thing, though. I said what I said. I'm looking at it. I don't see. All they doing is going into the details of how he is enjoying himself in the privacy of his own home and room. What's wrong with that?
That's my whole point.
Because all this stuff, it's not. I didn't hear nothing about no little babies, no little children. All I heard is what he enjoys watching. The man got money. He ain't got to go get a VHS tape to watch a porn. He got live porn. He got live actors and actresses.
Ta-da!
So that's where I'm at. And I'm like, a RICO charge? Can we stay focused on what he's being charged with? Because, okay, he's a freak.
But a RICO charge indicates that there's there's an organization in it.
People, not
right. So you got a single
Of
legal
course, you're
charge.
gonna get pardoned because now they're gonna be digging into everything else with everybody else
They're
and bringing out judges, bringing out
they're
presidents, and
trying
everything
to
else.
look at, they're trying to assassinate his character. So it's like, okay, look at this and look at what he did. Now, some people get turned on by it. You know, they probably like, oh, okay. Or people that have fantasies probably like, I always wanted to do that, but I couldn't really come out and do it because I didn't know what you would actually say. Remember, we had that guy, it's an older show. I can't remember the name of it, but the Down Low Brother. Remember that show?
Eugene.
And yeah, Eugene, where he actually said that the reason that most of the married men that Eugene dealt with is because those married men liked anal, but their wives would not do it. And so they went his direction. He said that. He was like, because people talk, people like what they like in the bedroom. And if she's not going to do it, he said, that's where I come in. He said, a lot of these married men, he said, they really don't like dudes like that. They like this, what I have. He said, and y'all females have it, but y'all like, nah, I ain't doing that. And then you talk about them and tell everybody in the church what they like and say that they gay. So they be like, okay, we're done. So it's a lot of men that can't trust their women in the bedroom. This man is doing his thing and everybody want to say it's crazy. I'm sitting here like, okay.
I ain't heard a broken law yet. And this is it's a travesty. I mean, it's a witch hunt. But I mean, in the same cases, they never did the Catholic priests like this. It was total opposite way.
Children.
Huh? Right.
But they had the altar boys and all that extra stuff.
It never came out to what was happening, who was doing it. Confessions of a Catholic priest, that book or TV show never came out. But the Diddy,
and they had witnesses. They had the people. Now, speaking of a smoke screen, let's talk about your boy Smokey Robinson real quick before we get into this topic.
Have you or your loved one smashed Smokey?
Smokey Robinson's investigation on whatever happened that the women said happened. No charges brought against Smokey Robinson. So if Mama done blew Smokey off back in the day, she just blew Smokey off.
But she told people about it. You know, Smokey got a nice one, and I used the pepper grinder. And
it was a flex back in the 50s.
But she heard that commercial. Have you or your mama, grandma had a smashing incident?
Nana.
Have you or Nana had a smashing incident with Smokey? You can be entitled to something. She'd be like, oh yeah, I used to give him the gum deluxe. And, you know, now she want money for it. It was horrible. I was forced. Ugh.
It's wild. Now, Diddy Duds is on sale. SALE, not CELL.
Wait a minute.
The Duds is the prison loafers.
He's still making millions off of he's still making millions while he's in there. I mean, he's at a different level. And I mean, hey.
Now, let's really think about this. Now the prisons is capitalizing because his feet was in those shoes. The loafers. They're not the Duds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Seen a video of him riding a motorcycle or a scooter or something, a motorized like bike around his around not his cell, but around the block. So he's well.
That had to be AI. How you got that in? He's
Diddy.
Hurt?
He's
he can't walk.
Hey,
everybody gets sick and debilitated when they get incarcerated. Ooh.
You turn in the right kite, stuff will get done.
Kite would be a sick call for those who don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Former inmates know what a kite is.
Now I was gonna see who all said something.
That's a sick call. You need to see the nurse. And you can get what you want. If he riding around with one of them scooters, then he need to be at a medical facility.
Hey, he out there like Rough Riders. Stop, drop, whoa.
Don't say the rest. Look,
I was under 7 seconds.
All right, Nick, congratulations.
Thank you.
Our girl graduated from college yesterday. We got another degree in the books. Let's do it. Let's do it. We's degreed.
No degrees here.
No, it's here. It's over here. We's.
Okay. Yeah, y'all too.
I'll be educated now.
You got your diplomat?
I got my diplomat. I'm going for my master's next.
You got your bachelor's. Now you're going for your master's.
Yes.
Listen,
GEDs count?
GEDs do matter. Let me tell you, that GED test harder than just going to school. You should have just went to school.
Yeah, I know.
But the thing is, you can get into college with a GED. So yeah. I mean, I got my diploma. I'm just saying, you can get into college now with a GED. Thank you.
Well, that's good, but I'm gonna tell you, the GED test. I sat with somebody that was good in their GED.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at it and I'm sitting there looking at all the math and stuff. I said, "Girl, you should have just went to school because it was a whole lot easier than just doing that." I'm like, you should have just went to school every day. But I will say this: I wanted to talk about your graduation because I watched it. Of course, I was going to do that. Those names,
girl, listen.
It's a lot of Indians.
Natasha, baby, listen.
Aaron's.
The only name that I knew was Nicole Grace. And I was so grateful to just read Nicole Grace. Now, as I'm watching these names, my mind did something. And I'm looking at the ages. Yeah, my mind did something because I said, okay, we got these strange names. I was like, wonder how it's going to be in another like 30 to 40 years when they're in the nursing home. Do you be like, Miss Dacia? And then I thought about Nicole. I was like, Miss Nicole. I was like, that ain't an old name either. Like Sharon. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like
Bessie May.
Bessie, yeah. So what's your name gonna be? What your name is?
Right.
I'm done. See the people in the comments talking about something. I've been a bachelor for 4 years. I got a bachelor's degree. Does that count?
Really?
Hey, summa cum laude, baby. Summa cum laude.
Hilarious.
But yeah, some of them names, I was looking at the screen like, so just imagine, because that was the virtual. My actual, where I get a chance to walk across the stage would be in.
They pronounced them though. Yeah,
they did, because
they were pronouncing them, which I would have had to go to a class to make sure I pronounce these names properly.
We had to, like, for the virtual, we had to fill out. We had to do our thing, and for the slide, submit a picture. Some did, some didn't, and like whatever you wanted to say or whatever. And then they also had a thing where for them, to put in there, or you had to record your name.
Oh, okay, that's smart.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all can check it out when y'all get the opportunity. But y'all know Nick the Voice. Nick done wore a hat to the graduation, y'all. But she gonna pull that up.
Was it the first lady?
Get it together, Nick, so we can actually show Nick's picture. We're gonna show it at the end, her graduation picture.
Okay.
So let me say this to the people: no matter how old you are, never give up.
Please don't.
Okay. All right, let's get to this topic. I know y'all was ready. Y'all been ready. The topic, a kept man. And I'm thinking a kept man because of what we talked about last week as far as Mary J. Blige and her husband, Cardi B and Offset, all of those people. I think we need to discuss what's happening right now, this time, day, and age. A kept man. Why do the men want to be kept? School's in. Why do these new men want to be kept?
We give up and we let you guys win. You wanted equal? Guess what equal equates to? Across the board, equal. So you wanted this, you fought for this, you voted for this. Now you have it. We don't want to hear nothing. You can do it just like we can.
Well, I ain't fight for it.
Oh, not
Me neither.
you. Not okay. That's 3 that didn't. Millions didn't make it.
And we still don't make it. Here's the thing: fighting for equality, we're not getting the same pay. So
You're
we're
not
still
doing
not
the same
getting it.
jobs.
Don't nobody want a mangina.
No,
No.
that because now you my child, and at this
Right.
point,
I
now you're a
have an
child.
announcement to make. I have an announcement to make. Y'all ready?
Go ahead, speak up though.
The announcement is polygamy is on its way back. In the next 4 to 5 years, polygamy will be back. Ask me why.
Okay, let's do it here. Let's see. Why, Nate?
Why?
Thanks, Mel. I'm glad you asked. With all the new tariffs, well, with the Trump and what he's doing, when the child is no longer is it's not 18, it's 7, and the rising costs of everything, living alone and being a strong, independent woman won't be as possible as it is now. And the one thing that man provides, no matter what his tax bracket is protection and provision. And with those 2 things, either there's going to be a couple of wise women that are going to say, hey, listen, we're going to have to get up on this program and do this and work together to raise our children, or they're going to be just taxed out. You're going to be taxed out.
Do you really think that the polygamy will be on the male side and not the females? Because these women are taking care of these men right now because he can't afford it. Because it's rough out here. The man won't give him a chance. Oh, I had this downfall and I can't get a shot.
Well, it can't go both ways. It can't go both ways. But you know, a dude that want to make a milkshake with another dude in with the one woman, that's not unheard of. But I mean, that takes a special type of kept man that want to do that. Because there's a reality show where the girl got 2 husbands and stuff like that, and got a boyfriend on the side.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that.
Exactly. But there is actually a show called that. I'm gonna find it and send it to you. But yeah,
I'd love to see it. Maybe that's something I need to.
good luck with that. Good luck
Yeah.
with that.
Some you look at
Y'all, but I think polygamy in America, and I know a lot of people gonna hate me for saying this. Polygamy in America comes off as pimping. Like in other cultures where it's been the culture, and you know, I've been able to speak to other cultures where they have polygamy and people have grown up in it. It's a lot more sacred than we do it in America, I think. So to me, in America, we kind of treat polygamy. It comes off like we pimping, and we just want to use an excuse about it and make sure that we have a good label for it for the children. But you know, I've seen in other cultures, you know, I know people who were raised, especially like of the African culture, who were raised in polygamy, and all the women act like they were their mother. All, you know, like, so you fell over here, 2 or 3 mothers might come get you. But here we kind of do it. We make it, you know, it's vulgar. You know, half of us weren't raised like that, and you know, you just have like 3, 4 naked women in the bed with you. It doesn't look.
I hate when it happens.
No, yeah.
Here's my question.
No, I want to hear Nick. No question right now. Nick, what's your thoughts?
I'm not taking care of no able-bodied man. Period. Point blank. End of conversation. Ain't nothing up. Just no. A kept man, but y'all complain about a woman wanting to be kept. It's the man's job to do it's the man's job. You want to be the man of the house, you got to do everything that you.
So now we're delegating to the jobs. It's a man's job.
It
only work.
I don't
you
mind
want to be
having
the man of the house.
gender roles.
Wait a
If you
minute.
don't work, you don't eat.
Okay. Go ahead, Nate. What were you saying?
It only applies to when a thing is applicable. It's only applicable when it's to your favor. Just like a woman, whenever she says a real man, it always follows by what she wants. So the man you want, you go get that man. And until then, what the rest of the people doing. This applies across the board. So this ain't got nothing to do with me. This is just how I look at it, how I see it. And like as our new host, Natasha Ndot was saying, she's seen it and she was around it. Now, my question to you, with those polygamy things that you're around, did overall, would you say it was working and it was good for the families?
Yes, all of them really.
Thank you.
I'll be honest. But again, they weren't American. But all of them, they the mom might do everybody hair, do all the kids' hair. One mom, different things like that. And so they were given what I can say was more wholesome because let's say the person had 5 wives. You had loves from a mother. Here I'm not quite sure what, you see
Here
a lot of
village. Here we call that a village.
But
A village, yes.
Is raising the children. Everybody get to spank the children, whatever went on. There
Right.
you go. 'Cause you
You're on
already
a compound.
9 times out of 10, your husband was kicking it with the lady down the street anyway.
Correct.
You're right. Here's the thing. We've gotten away from that village, and our westernized women who complain men go the passport bros and the westernized woman has the worst. Her what am I trying to say? Like a pit bull. They're
Aggressive, like
yeah. Their reputation is worse. The westernized woman. The American woman has the worst reputation out of them all. You go over to Asia, these guys, they're falling for our brothers are going to the white girls or overseas. And we're telling you.
It's true.
Huh?
It's true. That's where
it is. So why are we taking the advice and everything of the one that you said is true, that is the worst out of it all, and the men are leaving you, and all of these facts you're spewing to help my argument, but then you say, but I ain't gonna do that.
Well, let me say this. Your argument is invalid. Your argument is invalid. The reason your argument is invalid is because this is called a kept man. So the men aren't leaving. That's the difference. The men are not leaving. These men want to be
paid. You're paying me to stay. Yeah.
And that's what's interesting. Why are men okay with not working? Why are men okay with allowing someone to take care of them? That's what I'm trying to understand. What's going on in the mindset that you are okay with that?
I like to defer my time to NDOT. I like to defer my time, claiming my time. I would like to defer to NDOT. What did you say?
I said they didn't see it growing up. They didn't see it. So I don't know how I can say this because I don't want to implicate anyone.
No. We're here to shop, girl. We're talking to shop.
There are people, I'm going to say people in my life. That way you can kind of figure it out how you want to figure it out. But where I've seen, they have generations of single mothers. Okay. And so I've seen young boys think that the mom does it. Like, think about it. Single moms, I see, even my cousin, one day I heard her saying to her son, like, why you don't ask your dad? Like, I'm going to get it done, but you couldn't ask your dad? Like, like you don't ever ask your dad. And it's because they're not seeing it growing up. So they just keep women and us women, we feel, especially Black women, we've gone through the drug epidemic. We've gone through incarceration, holding all these people down, right? But what we haven't seen is a family. And so, yeah, we strong as we get out. We strong as all get out. But a lot of people haven't seen a family. I know Boosie said it. The rapper Boosie, he said he dates women who had their daddy in them. Like, he likes his women to have grown up in a 2-parent household because now they know the role moving forward. So I think that's what's happened, especially in our culture. Where's the family at? I remember I was doing team ministry and one of the girls saw my sister and they was like, oh, y'all got the same mom and dad? It was a surprise to them. And I felt so sad because I was like, yeah, but I felt very sad. I didn't take it like, anything but sad because they don't know.
I would have too. I would be like, wow, because that was their environment and their experience.
So if you always got, like, I have been single a long time. I can make it work. Do I want to? No. Do I don't want to be arguing with the auto mechanic and all outside? I have no clue. As soon as I get married, he's taking over trash, gas, cars, all, all of that. But I can make it work. But people put a negative connotation on independent when you should be two independent people coming together. But it's sad because so now you see a woman like me, you looking like, oh, she know how to do it all. Like, so I ain't gonna do nothing.
Because I'm with you. Soon as you walk in, bam, there you go.
But they don't see it. So
This
it's
comes
odd.
with it.
And I had a person in my life that I got in an argument with years ago because I saw that and I saw the way the sun was moving. And I was like, it's bigger than that. I made sure that I mentioned to the person, like, you've seen when we've gone out and you might not have been able to fit the whole check. And so what your son saw was me pick it up. Your son saw your grandma, the grandma pick it up. The mom, the son may not have saw you open the door and might have saw me tell you what is wrong, like, and so the kid is thinking, I go to women. So now you haven't taught your son that to make sure he got a couple dollars in his pocket, or make sure if you can have a flat tire and 5 men. And I had a flat tire, called 2 male friends in Vegas. Both of them, I guess, too pretty to come. And a female lesbian stud came and changed my tire. Brought us, me and my friend Wooder. I said, I see why they be leaving for y'all. Brought water, changed the tire.
The stud came and did the man's job because she tried to be a man.
Left work. Well, I don't know.
So is it safe to say that everybody trying to be a man?
It's beautiful to hear you, K-Dot. K-Dot.
Because I don't know how to change a tire. I'm gonna need a man to know how to change a tire, and
you knocked it out of the park. It was beautifully done, and I applaud you, Indot. The boys have had their moms do everything in their lives, and what are they looking for? Their mom and their mate. And if there was no man present, only iron sharpens iron. And when that boy doesn't have a man in his life, he don't know what we're talking about. He's been a kept man since he's been born. So why would he change it now? This is what you are raising. And I'm not going to argue with this point, but it was said the single woman produces the worst possible outcome in the men. And it's because these boys grow up in all that estrogen. They don't see what a man is supposed to do. So when they find a woman to come in my life, and N-Dot making that type of cheese, you know what I mean? I don't have to work. She covering everything, just like my mama. Why would I argue with her, opening her doors and this, that, and other? Why? I don't know how to change a tire. I ain't never seen it done. Girl, you're independent. You strong. Go on, take it. So guess what these young men or young boys do? They sit back and allow you, the wife, to act just like my mom did. And they were never taught, hey, son, at one point in your life, you're going to have to be somebody's everything. It's never been taught to them. It's all about how they feel and what they think right now. It ain't about, hey, this has to be done. I don't care if you don't like it. Get up and do it. I used to punch my son in the forehead gently within love, without the rings, to make it. I don't care what you think or how you feel. It has to be done. And those things, that class is no longer taught. And you get.
Okay. So with the women, single women, and I'm sure women don't want to be single.
Mm-hmm.
They may be overcompensating because dad is not there.
Correct.
So you're giving your child all this attention, air quotes for the listening audience.
And that's a complete wrong thing.
Right. All this attention, and I'm going to say love, because people define it differently, to replace the missing or absent father.
Right. And you're feeding him.
Grow up and expect their girlfriend to do what their mom did.
Exactly. And you're feeding him the wrong thing. You're feeding him emotion and feelings and love when he needs to be punched. He needs to fall. He needs to overcome stuff. He needs to learn how to figure things out. And the mother's love is, oh, baby, let me help you. Let me do it for you.
That is.
A father's love is, get up, quit falling. And if you keep overcompensating my get up and quit falling with, oh, let me pick you up. Are you okay? This is what you create. I've said this many times before on the show. There's nothing that I can do to make my mom stop loving me. So she was my example. So guess what? If my mom didn't let my dad punch me, kick me out, make me sleep in my car, I would just have that aspect. There's nothing I can do to make her stop loving me. If the panel, if you have children, there's nothing that your son can do to make you stop loving him. But if when I was married to Mel, we got divorced because I kept the toilet seat up. I kept peeing on the toilet seat. And, Taco Tuesday, you get a good Taco Tuesday and your underwear ain't
Oh, the accuracy on that is good. Yeah.
You left me for that.
Accuracy.
Exactly. You left me for that. So now I'm looking at my mom as top dog numero uno, will never leave me.
Mm-hmm.
And she will do everything for me. And I don't really have to take out the garbage. She can get it. She's strong, this, that, and other. We're not feeding this child nothing else. And then now he's an adult and he finds a woman that's acting like mom. And now all the other sisters are mad at him. You created him.
Mm-hmm.
You created him.
And a lot of times they be treating him like that's their man. So they don't seek being married. I think that in the Black community is why the Black men do not seek out being married. Because I'm gonna tell you, all my white male friends, and I'm not sure how explicit that sounds using that term, but the first thing they thinking out of college was getting married, and finding a wife. Our men don't do that, and it's sometimes because we came from broken homes, and they looking at their mom like the wife, and the mom looking at them like the husband.
Yep. And the sad part is our counterparts, they come out looking for wives because that's what they've seen. Their mom and dad, they did this, mom and dad did this, the mom and dad did this, and the dad and the dad and the dad. So their diet was felt, because Mel said something earlier about men are looking for women with fathers in their lives. It's the only reason I'm here where I am, because she had a dad in her life or a grandfather or a man in her life that makes what I do not that weird. Because
here's what's interesting. When you look at the stats, over 80% of Black fathers are active in their children's lives. So let's put that out there. So
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to act like, okay, the fathers aren't there and the single mothers, boom. They try to capitalize on that, but that's not it. So with over 80% fathers being Black fathers as people, being in their children's lives, why do they want to be kept?
Well, but then, like he was saying about, what did you say earlier?
I got it.
They're in the life, they are, but look at the finance piece of it, right? So they might be working 2-3 jobs and not be home. You got a roof, sometimes that can be it too, and so it isn't always that they're not there, but we got an economy right now that's run on capitalism, and you not half the time you can't make it with one job. So they might not be home all the time, and now things like that. So
that's a good point, but don't put it on me, because if I can't make it one job, I don't want to take care of you. Go ahead, Nate. What you got?
Thank you, Nick. I'm sorry, Mel. N-Dot, you may not have heard this, but I'm about to knock it out of the park. Mel, why are you mad at me because how was it? The kids on punishment at my house, I expect them to be on punishment at your house. Remember that argument we had? That's another thing. You treat him differently. Listen, if they're on punishment at your house, when he comes over here, he's on punishment at my house, because we are co-parenting, and you don't have that a lot. And I have to deal with you, even though I'm in his life. I say on punishment, and you like, please, let's go get ice cream. Now, if you say he's on punishment, he come over here, I'm like, yeah, that is right. I do think your mama a B, and you can tell her that anytime. So not only just having two parents, the father being there 80% of the time, which he is, and I'm proud of, you have to have a cohesive team. Me and you don't have to like each other, but when it comes to this child, we have to be on the same team. And a lot of times, the mother has feelings.
That could be it.
The mother has more feeling involved in it, and is mad because
Well, we're
he got that
supposed
bald-headed heifer
But
around his children.
that's what we do. We're the mother.
That's the problem.
That's our gig. That's what we do.
And hence is the problem. So if your gig is the
You
problem,
seek stability.
if you know and you can say that you guys have the problem, can't you work on a solution? Because you're not going to listen to me. You're not going to listen to me.
If you're the head of the household,
I'm not in your house.
plug up, head it up, teach your sons to do so. And I hear all the points, and I'm glad that we're bringing them up and addressing them. My question, I'm going to ask you, man,
Yes.
because you want to be kept.
Uh-huh.
You said that at the beginning of the show. What's the problem? Oh, they get to pay them alimony? Yeah, so you're okay with being kept.
I'm okay with the laws that are being fair. A law has
Also
no
under
feeling.
the law. Okay, so let's
Right.
change the word from a kept man to
No.
the law said you have to pay me alimony. Come on, man.
Right. Whoa. The law has no feeling. If it works this way, it should work this way. Equal is equal. So I'm cool with it because it is the law now. It don't have nothing to do with your feeling, how you feel about the thing. Do I personally want to be a kept man? No. I'm not built that way. But I'm not built that way. That's me. But the standard has to be the standard. And when you say these guys are being kept, and how can they do that? It's because it's the law, and I applaud them. Hey, if that's what you do, if you eat a pickled liver with your chitlins and you like it, hey, I'm happy for you. The law is you can eat this because it's equal now. So when it's equal, I applaud these dudes who can sit there and say, I'm a kept man. Cool. I ain't got no problem with that. But y'all look down upon these men who are being kept by the strong, independent women who can do it all. So now you have a problem with that.
Yeah, definitely, because nobody really wants to be the strong, independent woman.
You can't say
No.
nobody because they're kept
No,
men.
I can say that because I'm a woman. Just like you said, I can't tell you how to think. We don't want to be
Absolutely
strong
not.
and independent.
Oh, don't.
Go ahead, Nick. You know what, Nick? I ain't heard from you all day. This
What
don't
size dress do you kept men wear? That's all I want to know, because I got some dresses I could send y'all, because that's what it sounds like to me. You want to be kept, so now y'all talk about switching roles, and that's it. So what size dress do I need to send y'all some panties to? Because that's what it sounds like. You
I don't
walking
need
around here with a
panties.
padussy.
I need about a 38,
Padussy, okay?
a 38 waist, and make sure it's long because I don't want him peeking out the side. 'cause
Ain't no,
I
okay.
don't know if as long
I will
as
make
you
sure I
can-
get that to you.
Thank you.
that
As long-
dress.
Hey,
That's
garbage
what it
is
sounds like.
Tuesday.
Y'all want to wear the dress now.
Yeah.
Since y'all talk about we want to wear the pants, y'all want to wear the dress.
That's fine.
Get outta
I don't
here.
care how you think. Your guy would have to deal with you. When you sign up for Nate and Associates, Nate Woodard and Associates, you have rules and regulations. There's a SOP. So if you choose to work here, you have to follow the rules that are here. Now, if you choose a dude, you personally choose a dude that wants to be kept, you have a choice in this. You act like, oh, these guys want to be
Man
cooked.
that
Like you
wants to
gotta
be
pick
kept.
one of these dudes.
Guess what? I ain't choosing no man that want to be kept. That's
Well, guess what? That means there's more men for the women that don't mind it. So guess what? You sit over there talking about, I can't believe what she doing. Oh, but they just as happy. She in Cancun with her dude with the big Slurpees with the straw and the umbrella, and you sit here mad. I can't believe he did that. That's the Western woman's problem right there. Sit there and she got pictures on the beach with her. What is the Sex on the Beach or which one of y'all? Which one of the guys drink Sex on the Beach or whatever with the.
Oh,
They
you
have-
Long
they
Island
live-
iced tea?
They live in their best life, and you sitting over here as a hater talking about I wouldn't do that. Okay, don't. We're not asking. We're not
They living their best
mandating.
life off of their own money.
But
Yes,
And
ma'am.
but are they
don't-
really? But they're not really living their best. So I had to sometimes, as a woman who does desire marriage and all those things, I had to sometimes really zone myself back in. Are you really happy? You could say, you can post all the pictures. I'm gonna be honest, you can post all the pictures you want, but sometimes I talk to people and they're not really happy. They just posting them pictures and moving like they happy, and but they don't. I don't know if I've seen a woman who truly is happy with keeping a man. They just want to know they have one. They want everybody to say they got one.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Because I've been there. Look, got 2 souvenirs. I ain't got the teacher. I got 2 souvenirs. Married, divorced, the whole 9. And I gotta say, I was happy to be free. I didn't have to do no work. All I had to do was focus on me. I didn't have to worry about cooking for a whole bunch of people, especially that they got grown. Being in a marriage, I'm not telling you don't be in no marriage. I'm not saying that. But it is work.
Yeah.
And when you be like, oh, okay. And some say I suffer from OCS. That's the only child syndrome. I ain't got to worry about Nate pissing on the seat, leaving the toilet seat up. I ain't got to worry about none of that. All I got to do is smile and wave. The one thing that is missed, though, I will say, is your forever date. And nowadays, it seems as if when you get married, your husband don't even want to go on no dates with you. And it's like, listen,
true.
I married you because
Or wine and dine or nothing.
you're my forever date. And they like,
No.
Go ahead.
If I can't be kept, you can't be my forever date. You have rules and regulations for me, but as soon as I say rules and regulations for you, it's off the board. And when
No.
a man settles down,
I would never marry a kept man.
okay.
I'm not to marry a kept man.
Well, why are you talking about the
I'm
women?
going to marry a provider.
Okay. And good for you, Mel. Good for you. I'm not going to marry a girl that don't have a triple Z cup. So guess what? I have my preferences. You have yours. Happiness for both of us.
Wait, you repeat that, sir.
She needs a triple Z cup with the
No, she ain't.
with the small what are those Reese cups on the ends?
That's not a triple Z. That will go down to the A.
No, well, whatever it is, it's got to be whatever my preference is. I'm going to marry that because that's what I want. You're not going to marry a kept man because that's what he is. I broke down to you why they are kept men and the laws that are by it, and everyone wants to talk about what they would do. I'm not going to be a kept man. I don't look to be a kept man. But a kept man is there because of these reasons. NDOT clearly showed, well, there's no men that showed them how not to be, and their mothers create them. We all agreed on that. Then, after we agreed on that, we said, hey, no, I'm not gonna, I can't believe you guys, and I wouldn't. Well, that's cool. I'm not gonna mess with a girl that ain't got this under a triple V M bra size. So everyone have their preferences, but the law, and we shout down how the kept man is created. You put a little extra oregano on him, and then you stir him like that, so we know how he's made, and we agreed on it. But then you keep on saying, well, I won't. Well, that's cool. Don't. But they're there for these reasons. And there's women that are there. And when I was cussing out NDOT a second ago, I was asking her, what is a happy woman? I don't think they exist. They don't exist because everything has, well, I don't like this about that. I don't like this about that. It's not just this makes me happy. It's, well, why did you park here? Well, this, that, and the other. So happiness for a woman is something that men, if you're chasing it, you're losing weight.
You can never give it to us. But I can say that, but the culture is leaning toward, as you see, people are now, organized religion is how we grew up as a culture. People are now we still love God, we still love Jesus and all of that, but we're learning that you can't make me happy. I have to make myself happy. And the more that I'm happy, I do think you can attract somebody that's in that same boat with you, right?
Yeah,
I can be around you when I'm happy.
We gotta go to the topic. See, that's going to another angle.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
but we you can't make us happy. But
so
it is like having a child.
Okay, so let's flip it to, since Nate want to go to happy, because see what Nate likes to do. Nate likes to be right, so he'll try to switch the topic to what he wants it to be, so that he could prove a point, but not stay on the topic of today's show, which is a kept man. So Nate, the question goes to you: what makes men happy? Wait a second, let me get you. There you go.
Peace. Just peace.
Okay. How do you want the peace?
Me personally or men in general?
Man, just talk to me.
In general, hey, make sure my hot plate favorite position is the basic core of every man. I'm going to put that on every man. Then peace is, hey, don't argue about this. Don't come whining with me about a whole bunch of stuff. Just peace. I will come home. I will jump in front of a bullet for you. Just don't nag. Don't nag. And listen, it's okay that I parked in this parking space. We're still here. We just want quiet in a peaceful place. That's what makes men. And I'm going to say the majority of men. And it makes me happy. So I'm not going to answer for all men, but I'm going to.
What makes you happy? Give me you said
hot plate favorite position. Hot favorite, something good to look at every now and then. And every, my birthday and everything. Give me some birthday behavior.
Oh my goodness.
Let me ask you this. Something good to look at. What is that?
Yeah.
Look, I had a Chevette and people thought it was cheap, but I dressed it up the way I wanted it and I liked it. So it varies. It varies. And
no, I'm asking you, not men, period, but what does that look like? Something to look at nice.
Rihanna.
We're not talking about a Chevette. We're not talking about an automobile.
Rihanna. Because if I
okay. So if she cannot become Rihanna, what suggestions would you have?
Make a mean macaroni and cheese. Right here. These are the two avenues. And as much makeup as all you women be wearing, you can look like Rihanna. My pillows will be smudged in the morning, but before we go to sleep, you'll look like Rihanna. So I'm not worried.
So can I ask a question?
Sure.
Because I heard you say the piece about nagging, right?
Yes.
And that sometimes just does something to my soul when men say that about women. And the reason is because I feel like if a woman doesn't challenge you in some form, and people gonna be mad at me because I've said it before, I don't think she love you. I think that there's gonna be times, if I truly love a man, there are gonna be times that I'm gonna have to check you to make sure, and I don't mean check you as be disrespectful or challenge your manhood, but like if, let's say you, every day I see you going to work late, I might be like, babe, I'm gonna need you to be on time to work. That may to you look like nagging, but that's love so that you can keep your job, right?
So that these bills can get paid.
Correct. But y'all keep it saying nagging, but it's not that we're nagging. To me, that's love. If I'm with somebody and he don't never say nothing, I know I did something.
You are absolutely 100% correct. I see it. You have changed my view because men do the same thing. When we yell, that's us crying. Because I can't say, and Mel, you get one thing, I say, Mel, damn, I keep telling you, blah, blah, blah. So I get it. It's what you're, but the nagging, see, the way you said that in Dot, you should be married tomorrow because you understand stuff in your, that was impressively. It was impressively said, but a woman, it's in her femininity. The only thing that kills masculinity is femininity. And what you said it and how you said it, I can't do nothing but like, you know what, babe, you right.
So her telling you to be responsible, that's all y'all want?
It's how a woman moves and how a woman walks. Because guess what? I face challenges.
So you don't want the male way.
No, what I want
to wait. Ninja, for real? Like every day?
No. Because I can get that out of Cornell or Todd. I can get that out of them. And when I come home, I don't want to be around them. My home is my place of comfort. I don't want to be, as soon as I walk out the door, I face challenges. Another challenge I don't want is at home.
Okay, so that was a challenge.
But now, and then on the other end of that, though, communicating the way you say, like, I'm not a morning person. So I used to tell people, all the time, like, if you're going to leave, you leave in the morning because I'm going to let you leave because I'm not a morning person. But just maybe telling the person, like, I don't like the way, I face challenges every day. The way you communicating is frustrating to me, right? But, a lot of times men just like, they nagging, I'm out. or they
Yeah.
nagging, and I'm gonna just argue back because they nagging. Like,
Well, you ready?
Uh-huh.
Y'all ready? Are the show ready? If Nick the Voice said that exact same thing you did, you know how it would have came out? It had a little more neck and a couple of more pats.
I don't
And
pat
at
my
that
head.
point, we tone out.
Tell them, right? Ain't nothing about it at a pad.
Okay,
Exactly.
You got it wrong here.
but
Go
the
ahead.
neck and the eyes and all that stuff, dudes will say click or change the channel on it real quick. So there's a flow, an essence about how a woman works. And when she works, she can get a man to do anything. A woman, if a man is into you, he is into you. And he will do anything for you if you handle him right. He will jump in front of the bullet. He will always do this. And it's not monetary. He will go to a job he hates to make sure that you and the kids are taken care of if you handle him right. He's not coming home from that job he hates and deal with. But one thing the kept man to do is he'll do it because guess what? He's getting compensated for. Babe, yeah. I'll get the garbage. The new PlayStation came out. Can you I need to download it. I need your card. So guess what? I'm gonna stay there.
Question. Off the cuff.
Mhm.
Tell me that you don't like what I'm wearing and I need to change my clothes.
Babe, I don't know where you think you're going. No. Mm-mm. You're not
Okay.
doing nothing with me like that.
Okay. So I have an issue because of how you said it, because
Cool.
you don't control me.
Up.
So let
I
me
am
finish.
responsible.
So, honey, can you say that a little different where I won't be in my feelings and offended?
No.
So why is it how she said that you need to go to work before you get fired and we can't pay these bills?
You talk
different
to
from
your
me saying,
boss. Do you talk to your boss any type of way?
I talk to my boss like I talk to her, well, professionally.
Oh, okay. So there is a
But
level
the same thing, go ahead.
there's a level of respect when he's the king of his castle. And the
Okay,
only
so what about yours? So even the queen, do you talk to your team lead like that?
yes, because it's my vision. You're following me. I am your leader. So yes, I have to make sure it's done accordingly. If we're gonna get to
Child, the leader ain't going
but
to
even the
work.
most patient person, though, after you could be patient now after 5 times now. You gonna get, I think, from anybody what you say, the next roll. Like, I'm not gonna keep, like,
why is it 5 times? Well, why is it 5 times?
True.
Because watch this. Hey, babe, don't do that. Hey, babe, don't do that. Hey, babe, don't do that. B, I said don't do that. I can't believe it gonna be B, but you remember it now, and it's never done again. So we're not looking at me. You're just looking at a reason. I'm like, but listen.
No, but you are too.
The train
With that whole thing regarding, getting up late. That was the example that was used.
Right.
That analogy.
Gotcha.
Being late for work. Okay, is how you say it. But after so long, come on, do you not like the job?
You ready?
Let's have a conversation as to why this is occurring.
Because
but you got to reciprocate that. You can't just talk.
There's no definition. There's no definition in what you guys want. You don't want a kept man. You don't want this, that, and other. You don't want this. You don't want a leader. You don't want the leader to talk this way.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that. You're throwing things. No, you're throwing things so that
you want a leader. So you want a leader, but the leader has to talk things. He has to write poetry. He has to bring you flowers every Thursday. You're telling your leader what to do.
Definitely. Now that's nice.
But you're telling your leader what he has to do. What type of leader is going to be told what to do? Hey, Trump, listen, you're going to have to do this and you're going to have to do this. No, I'm the leader and I'm going to do what I want to do. So it's a way to do things. And you're looking for this unicorn that doesn't exist. You're mad at me because I said it.
Watch this. It sounds like that unicorn does exist, Nikki.
There should be.
Because you just said you gave some great ideas. Thursdays, flowers. What else did you have on there?
Well, no, that was the list. That was an example of a list you have for me. So if there's a unicorn,
you know what to do. You know what to do.
Yes.
But now,
when I choose to do them, yes. Most people won't stand up and say, "Hey, listen, there's a lot more good than bad on this trip." on this train. And if you don't like the train, it makes stops.
Okay.
But I have to be, a man has to be unapologetically him, because you've seen something into him to even get on the train. So guess what?
Absolutely.
But you do gotta, you do gotta, you be unapologetic for you, right? I mean, you do. But sometimes I think when people create those boundaries and say those things, that's a way of them saying, I know you feel disrespected, but because this is who I am, I'm gonna continue to do it.
I'm not going to.
Exactly.
And so sometimes when people say this is just me, I do take that as this. Like if I tell you 2-3 times, you're like, that's just how I am. So that's basically telling me,
F you, accept it, put up and shut up. That's what you're saying.
Okay.
But they don't want us to do it though. The first thing, I'm gonna take you like that because such a.
Because this is how I am can look multiple ways. You know, I talk a lot, right? I talk a lot. I talk all kind of things, talk over people sometimes, and I truly don't mean it. But if you catch me on it, you get what I mean? I don't say this is how I am. I know that I try to be more mindful when I'm speaking to people. Or if you say, you know, that hurt my feelings, you know, I try to be more mindful. But a lot of people nowadays be like, well, that's how I am. You know, if that's your feelings, you can't stand the kitchen. I mean, the heat, get out the kitchen. And I think that too can, you know, cause
Makes you feel a certain way.
But it caused a gap in the relationship because now I don't feel heard. This is how I am means I don't really care what you saying.
Right. Well, I don't know if
I'm not
the intent is like that. The intent is blah, blah, blah. But as the leader, I have to make sure that this is covered. I have a job to do. If I'm not a kept man, because a kept man is the easy life. Easy life. Just roll over and make sure you got your blue pills on tap, on drip. But other than that, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with a man. And I have to fight all of this and all of this. And then I have to turn on and be worried about how I said that, how this makes you feel. Are you happy with this? It is exhausting with the responsibility that comes with having a woman. Because I got to make sure, she this, that, and other. And just like you said, not talking or how you talk, what I gave you kudos on earlier that I forget right now, but the responsibility and everything that comes with a man. How to find and keep you happy, that is a priority.
That all the sexy lunch and day party, June 27th, 2 to 6 p.m. You can come at shoptalk.com and this is Valentine's Stuff now. Battle of the Sexes. We'll be having commercials as such. Look, conversations, commercials, everything as we just exhibited. Look, during the show. No, that's how we do it.
You got my mouth was open.
Again, Battle of the Sexes, luncheon. God, yeah, one day. Battle of the Sexes, luncheon and day party, 2 to 6, June 21st at the Eastwood Event Center. It's going to be fun, food, great music, a good time, great conversations, and the games be off the chain. So make sure you guys come out. This is year 15. On-air personality, your girl Mel. How about that?
Yeah.
So it's the anniversary party. This is my one and only fundraiser that I have where we give a female scholarship. You have to be in college. You guys can email me at shoptalkwithmel@yahoo.com for information on the scholarship. Okay? All right. And this year's recipient is Jasmine. All right. I had to put that out there. Yes. Okay. Look. Okay. Back to the topic at hand. A kept man. It's happening more and more. And understand this, a kept man does not mean a man who does not work at the time and is an at-home dad. That's not a kept man. A kept man is expecting a woman to take care of him. Does your woman buy your deodorant, Nate? Is your woman buying you a new toothbrush?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably. I think all women do that. But like, dude,
Right. I'm like, yeah, those are
let's,
basics.
look, dude, let's switch that out. Let's change that out.
It got a couple more brushes
So,
on it.
kept man is think like Jody, like he said, Jody from
Right.
Baby Book. Okay, that's
Right.
a kept full out kept
Well,
man.
you know what though? I disagree because Jody is not a kept man. Jody worked. He sold clothes. Jody is a mama's boy.
Oh, true. He had Oedipus syndrome.
Yes.
That was like a
Yes. Jody is a mama's boy.
I don't mind being Melvin though. Let's do the Melvin.
It's crazy. So let's do Melvin.
Y'all knew what the Melvin was though. Y'all freaks. Y'all.
Hey, you better be quiet before they throw Melvin in the courtroom.
Yeah, for real.
He was in the kitchen. The health department getting in there.
Right, because he had to be, I don't want any more sausage. I'm like, yeah, I should be appalled. There's a lawsuit there somewhere.
Okay, so a kept man is when the woman is the head of the household. She's taking care of all of the responsibility, the bills, everything. Your kept man, and some people look at it like he gets a manicure and a pedicure. I'm paying for my man to get this. Some women don't like to say that they're keeping a man or they're paying a man. So they say, oh, I gift him, or they call them cougars or sugar mamas. Those are the ones that have sugar mamas. Those are your kept men. Or those who, oh, I just have to have a boyfriend, so I'll give him whatever he wants. He doesn't have to work. He don't have to do nothing at all, but just stay here. That's a kept man.
I see.
So, are you dating a kept man?
I've never dated a kept man. I have dated someone who I think, I'm not gonna lie, I think his wheels was turning, but then I caught on, put it that way. But I've never dated a kept man. I've dated a man who tried to ease himself into being a kept man, but we had to shut that down. But
Okay.
yeah.
What about you, Nick?
That first husband thought he was gonna be a kept man. Oh, ninja, bye.
Okay, you know what? You said first husband. So let me ask you this. Were you keeping him before he said I do?
No.
So that's what's so strange because this happens often. How often do you have people treat you a certain way, and then when you say I do, they flip the script and you like, hold up, wait, what happened to the whole relationship?
He was in the army when we got married.
Oh, he was gonna be kept, child.
Can I
You said
ask,
my Uncle Sam, huh?
can I ask the lady something?
Yes.
Let's give you jobs. All of you work for. All of you guys work for the Nate Institution of Greatness.
Okay.
And your salary is $1 million a year. Now you guys are married. What type of job does your husband have to have?
I've honestly never judged it off of money, but I also come from a family of men who may not have been that man 20 years ago. So people say potential, whatever you want to call it, but technically, like if you mow a good lawn and you get with a good woman, she can help you make a landscaping company. So
You're right.
I don't look at it like that per se, but then, you get roasted like when you think like that. But I wouldn't say somebody needs to make a certain amount of money, probably because I can take care of my own things.
Okay, I asked the
Now
question.
you asked the question. I'm gonna answer your question. Any.
What?
He has to have a job.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
If he
Right.
then here's where I'm
Amen.
going. You have to have a job as long as you can take care of yourself.
Gotcha. Cool. So that's a great answer, because if your money is your money and my money's our money, why are you worried about what he makes? Or if you're going to, in a kept man syndrome, just keep him. If you make enough, do what the man has done for eons and decades. Just keep him. Your money pays for it. Your money we can sustain off of your money. And when you get home, girl, I'm gonna have the dinner on the grill. I'm gonna have the place clean like you like it, and this, that, and other. Keep me.
Mm-hmm.
At Mail and Associates, that's That's the standard operating procedure.
I think though, like we said earlier, we at least want to feel safe, right? So while dating, while dating, right? It doesn't matter the finances. It doesn't, it matters, but in the big scheme of things, it doesn't, right? What I want to see is your traits and what you can bring to the table, right? Then we can start talking about some of those other things as we grow in relationship, you know. But keeping a man, I just think as women we want to feel safe, and that's what's creating these independent women, because we don't feel safe. So we like, look, we're gonna have to use some masculine energy to get where we need to go.
No, here's a verse in the Bible that you may have not read. If you turn to me in the book of Tyrone, you're looking for something else, and you have to realize that PNC is real. It's real. So we're coming from, it's different.
PNC, sir, can you please explain that?
It's post-nut clarity. So the guy you were dating before you smashed is different afterwards. So if you go in it with looking at this guy, it changes after you do things. So when you're looking at that type of guy, you got to understand it's not going to be the same type of dude afterwards, because the game is the game. And the game is, yeah, shoot. Yeah, I like writing poetry. I'm going to tell you whatever it is that I have to tell you. But PNC, man, I ain't read a book in 28 years. I don't know how to read. Spell my name. I just write an X there. You find that stuff out afterwards.
Not always. I think, not always. Because when I'm dating, I'd be like, have you been in jail? Like, I remember asking a person that, he spit his drink out. I think because of the context, I just kind of busted it out.
Right.
But that's not what we was talking about. But I asked those things. He may answer it how he gonna answer it, right? Yeah. But I can also use life, life to say, you know what? How much time did you do? Or, if he's say I was in there because me and my girlfriend got into a fight, and then he starts talking about the fight. Now I could be like, now wait a minute, this man sound abusive. Or like, if you've been there 3 times, so you can they may not tell you, like you're saying, they're not going to tell you, but if you use your cognitive sense,
but
you can
we are betting and almost guaranteeing that most women don't use that. I have on Balenciaga sneakers and my Bugatti lawnmower that you see me pull up on. So guess what? A lot of stuff will be overlooked. So, it's the game is vicious, and the game is vicious. So yeah, all the things we do and things like that. But like,
I think a real woman, I'm not sure about you, Nick. How do you feel? Like, like I said, if I'm at the bar and you pull out $5,000-$10,000 out your pocket trying to impress me, I think you have poor money management skills. You have not impressed me. You can buy the drink, because they expensive. But as far as the rest of us moving on, like I'm saying, like as a woman, you can kind of look and be like, this dude, and that might be the only $10,000 you got. You might not got nothing in the bank, nothing, but you pull this out at the club. So I think
I would be offended.
Well, but guess what?
I would be offended. I would be offended that you felt you had to lead with money.
Hold on. That's a twofold thing. It's showing you that I have money or whatever.
Today. And I want Tasha today.
Right.
Yeah, that might be all you got. And then you get robbed outside the place.
I'm with her. I'm with you. I totally agree. But what it does is if it throws you off, 3 or 4 girls down the ones seen it, and it won't throw them off. And if I'm making a move like that, I'm just looking to spin a hot 40. That's a hot 40 type move. I'm just letting you know. Because a dude, I don't carry cash on me half the time. I don't have it, but and when I do have it, it's on a card. So pulling out that money is a weak move. I agree, and I agree with you totally. But it also catches guppies. Might not catch the big fish, but it'll catch something. So it's a twofold move.
But a lot of men think the guppies is what, I'm gonna be real. A man would think a woman like me, Mel, or Nick are nagging and think the guppy is a good woman because she's quiet, and you buy her the Louis bag. You can have 3 children outside on her and do different things.
Yes.
That was what the
He's the
culture was
doormat.
promoting. That was what the culture was promoting, and not a strong woman should not have the negative connotation that it has.
But it does. You're right, but it does. I can't change that.
Okay,
You
I'm
can't
getting ready
change
to
it.
go to the comments. All right. So Aurelia from Columbia, South Carolina said, if I was working for you, Nate,
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't want a man, just a cut buddy. Because
Cool.
relationships are not relationships. They're just like a ship. They come and go.
Facts. But the sad part, the bad part about that is, I totally agree with you, but the bad part about it is, if me and you are cutting, I get credit. You get demoted. Because I'm just another body. And if you gave it to me for free, you can't find nobody who's going to pay full price for it. So, and guess what? I didn't make this up. It's just how it is. So I'm cool with cut buddy. As a guy, yeah, we can smash and dash, bump and bounce. We can call it whatever you want to. But at the end of the day, the quality man that you're looking for, the unicorn that you find, is going to look down upon that. And the fellas that I hang around and the girls be like, oh, well, he got her. So because when I dated male, you should have seen my inbox. Girls are like, oh, so you got girls like male on you? I'm like, yeah, that's just something I do on the side.
But I was going to say, but that was based off of her.
Exactly.
Right? That was based off of her.
Exactly.
So
my point is, the outside looks too. So when I dated male, a lot of girls paid attention. What the hell is he? He must got a hammer, or he must got money. When male dated me, they were like, oh, why is she dating him? This, that, and other, blah, blah, blah. So in her situation, her working for me, it works for me. It works for me. Oh, I can't.
You got a promotion and I got a demotion.
Hey, I can't take you to the movies. I can't go to long walks in the park. All we doing is smashing. Oh, she makes me so sad, guys. I want to spend time and money with you, not just smash and dash. Us guys are just like, oh.
But do y'all say that? I have quite a few friends that have situations where, to me, it looked like a smash and dash, but to them, it looks like they feel as though it's more than that.
But at the end of the day, who gets the more credit for the whole thing, the man or the woman?
Man.
Depends on the crowd.
Yeah.
Depends on our crowd. Be like, girl, and you guys got calls like,
N-Dot just answered, and she's the new host. So we should. What did you say, N-Dot? You said who gets the credit?
The man, technically.
There it is. I don't make the rules. And guess what?
But that's what we're trying to. I think at some point we have to change that as a culture, right? So at some point, the sexy reds and the dropping it like it's hot and the BBL. I went to a pool party. Every single person had the same body. But if that's every time, that's what y'all hollering at.
Like, no. But those are rentals. We're not purchasing those. Those are rentals. We just drive it around. Hey, fella, come on, jump in. You want to drive it here? You can drive it.
That's true, but they feel like they won. Let's keep it real. So they feel like they won because you could go out, right? Yeah, what I wore at the pool party might not have been a thong, right? But if you come over, I'm gonna have a good conversation with you. We all of that, right? But what they're seeing is y'all going over there to the big booty because you didn't say big booty multiple times. Y'all going over there to the big booty. Yeah, exactly. You going over there to the big booty, right? And the rest of us is sitting over here looking like we about to make y'all plates and cook the potato salad, and y'all. So then the younger women are looking at it like, oh, they don't get no play. But I know if I dress like Sexy Red and Cardi B and all of them, I'm gonna get play. And that's
you get quantity, not quality.
But when are we gonna change? When are we gonna change? Why can't it be like back in the day? If that's your joint, that you smashing and dashing, keep that to yourself.
The right man sees you, N-Dot. Trust me. And after this, you're going to get a couple just to see you. Because I endorse N-Dot. I see you.
But we got to change that as a culture. We have to change. We can't. You keep saying that's just how it is. And that if we do, that's how it is.
You have to start with
like that 5-10 years from now.
But you have to start with you. You have to be you. He'll find you. Because he understands what a wife is, and he's hunting for a wife. So he will come with the proper whatever he needs to get you. If you falter and go over to that side, Now you're gonna get treated just like that side gets treated. The
The
$40
government.
holler, let me pull up my wad. You're around that type of dude. If you want to go hunting, don't take your fishing pole. So let them people to fish go over there with their fishing poles. So don't worry about that. Your cream always rises to the top, and you be unapologetically you, and your unicorn will find you. I give you kudos and I endorse you because the way you think, you are already ahead of the game. Hey, those that eat chitlin loaf and stuff, they go to those that eat
Chitlin
McDonald's, go to McDonald's. You ain't a McDonald's meal. So I know that if I come there, I got to put on some, my
All right, we had to watch your time. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. I thoroughly enjoyed you as I do each and every Saturday. Today's footnote: you gotta watch who uses you, okay? But sometimes using people, hear me clear, using people for what you need, as long if it's gaining positivity, is really not a bad thing when they know that you're using them and they know their role. All right. So you can't, and another thing you can't use, so I'm gonna tell you this, something that you can't use is creativity. And that's what we do here. All right. So the more you use, the more you have. One more time. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Now, there are people that I allow to use me, and that's why I said it at the beginning. If you're using me for knowledge, I have it for you. I don't want to die full. I want to die empty. We all had to go. So if I can assist you, that's a better word. Is that better for the people with the feelings? I'm using you. You let her use you. I'm assisting. If I'm able to assist in whatever it is that you do, if I have the knowledge, I'll share it. I'm big on that, big time. So if you want it and I got it, and all I have to do is just share with you and talk to you, I'm going to do that. All right. Again, that is my time. I thoroughly enjoyed you as I do each and every single Saturday. Time is something I know we cannot get back. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys spending your time with me. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always, always love you. Until next week, people, you know what it is. 1, 2, 3. Shop
Shop
talk.
talk.
I think that might have been a little okay. That wasn't too bad, my people. That wasn't too bad. With the people on there, I'm waiting for some of them on there. Let's see what
Thank
we got.
you for having me, Mel. I really appreciate it.
Oh, not a problem.